So, Remnant Ally Clan, Stygian main. I'm gonna go for Tethys this time around, and I will go with Primitive Molds. Just because I feel like it. Let's jump in and see how this one goes. See where we end up with this. Offering Token, Wicklash and Urchin Spines. That's an interesting starting set of cards. We have Seraph the Patient as our final boss. So we need to find a way to deal with melee weakness. That could be Reform potentially. We have Talos with Rage and Armor on Slay. We have Arcus with Harvest and Incant. No, not Incant, Daze. Interesting starting deck. We'll see what we can make of this. Flicker's Liquor and Mark of a Champion, huh? I wouldn't mind a Liquor. There are some really good high cost cards, 3 cost especially, in Stygian. That would be great to cost reduce. Tethys doesn't have terrible attack value, so Mark of a Champion is certainly useful on her, but I'm gonna go with the Liquor. We have Conduit or Spell Weakness as our options here. Haven't done a Spell Weakness Tethys run in quite some time. Let's go with that. Not quite sure how this is gonna work out. I think it's definitely one of the weakest Tethys paths, or rather the weakest Tethys path right now. These spikes are gonna be awful for us, but I feel like it's worth just taking some damage to get some money. While I do want to set up on the bottom floor, if we do so, we lose Tethys in our first turn. Maybe we reform her and that's fine. Maybe. I think it's pretty much the only thing we can really do here. Okay, that's a lot of reforming we have access to. Sadly, most of our cards are not very good reform targets. We will need to deal with this wave. We can't just leave it like that. Tethys in the backline. She does die. But maybe that just gives us a chance to reform her next turn again. Maybe. That works. Now we could think about just leaving you alive. What can we do here? We can apply 2 spell weakness, deal 18 damage to you. Play Tethys, so it's gonna be deal another 30 to you. That's not great. If we put Tethys on the top floor, we won't. I guess we have to reform her again. We can't take you down, but we can make sure that we only take a single hit. See what we get. It's another Tethys. That is nice. Put it on the top floor, let it burn out. Then hopefully we get a spell or reform or so to finish the job. Nice. That was a bit of a mess, but nothing too difficult. This should probably be crit build, alright. Mollusk Mage is decent, and I certainly wouldn't mind having it. But we really need a big spell that can take advantage of the spell weakness we apply. Purifying Cleanse, Hallowed Drippings, and Molten Encasement. That one is easy. Molten Encasement is just the defensive measure we want for our Tethys. Kinda don't really care too much about priority units, but something a bit tankier would be nice to keep Tethys safe. But I'm mostly gonna care about spell upgrades for now. So let's go to the left. Let's take a look. We have Holdover. Okay, that can be big. Guard of the Unnamed. That's pretty much the defense I wanted. We do have a True and an Extreme Stone. That is pretty exciting. Sadly, we only have one great spell that we want to upgrade. I'm gonna make Crypt Builder Holdover and I'm gonna give it plus 30 magic power. So it's now a 210 damage spell. Makes a big difference. I don't think I want to upgrade the Frozen Lands. These are not really worth the shards, but I think some gold can be spent on them. I cost reduce the Wicklash, even though I'm not entirely sure whether I'm gonna use it. And I think I'll leave it at that. Oh, I'm gonna close the door. You might have been hearing my friend in the other room. He tends to get pretty loud sometimes when he's having fun. It's nice, but not always appropriate here. Well, can we do this challenge? I think it's okay. We might want quite a bit of stealth if we want to deal with this boss. And I mean, we can't have a better setup than this. Pretty much. The main problem with the Crypt Builder is that we can't always discard it. Ideally, I will get hold over an offering token as well. There are a few other ways we can go about that. I'm not gonna play it here. I think Frozen Lands is too important to get a collector, and we wanna do a primitive mold so we can keep this floor safe. Oh, yeah, right. We do have the Flicker Slicker. We will usually be able to play it, I guess. This is going well. If we play everything else, we could just play the Crypt Builder for free. I kinda want to play the primitive mold, so I guess that's what we do. Ah, it hit the Crypt Builder, that's great, because now I don't have to take the Ember Drain from playing this unit on the top. Might as well give you some extra attack. That extra attack actually was detrimental to our plan. No, it didn't matter. No, the burnout does matter. Right? No, it doesn't. Oh, we don't have anything to reform. I should have played the Crypt Builder then. Oops, my bad. Well, this might mean we don't have a good kill on the boss. We can draw through our deck pretty quickly though. Yeah, that's not gonna be that helpful. Might as well play it. If we draw the Crypt Builder, we won't need the spell weakness. Didn't draw it. And that is useless. Ah, yes. I just misplayed there in the end. Other than that, everything was perfect. You need to play this and then cripple. How did we do it here? We reformed the molten encasement. That hit the cripple last time. This time it didn't. So I have to take the Ember Drain, which will ruin the cripple for me next turn. That sucks. And no reform. Now I'm in the same position as last time. Why did it change? Everything changed. Don't think we can win this like that. At least not with these units. What happened? It worked out so well beforehand and I just made a little misplay and suddenly... Yeah, I shouldn't play these trains duels, I guess. Like... There's no real reason to. I should play one. I had to play the second one though. What did I do differently here? Did I play the Frozen Lands first so we couldn't get hit by the Molten Encasement? No, apparently that was not... That wasn't it. I'm gonna take the Ember Drain now. What? Why doesn't it work anymore? Oh well. Let's just play this. If we take a ton of damage to the boss, then we take a ton of damage to the boss. Probably played the trains. No, I didn't play the trains duel first. I'm pretty sure I played the Frozen Lands first. It's gonna be exactly the same again. Right? There's nothing I can do to change that. I hate it when I had like a great plan like this and then suddenly falls apart because something's off. Oh well. That's what I get for missing that opportunity in the first cycle. Maybe we can still get there. Kinda need to reform Tethys. Maybe that will do. Tethys should be better though. Let me think. Yeah, the backliners are all dead before the molding encasement dies. Tethys has 2 turns of combat, that's 70 damage with the Whiplash. So we're only taking 14. Should have done it correctly the first time around. Instead of messing up, that would have been better. Titan's Gratitude. We need it. Gripfall, Whiplash, Entombed Explosive. Kinda hate all of these. Whiplash can be okay, I guess, but... maybe an Entombed Explosive is what we need. Nameless Siren, Paraffin Thug, Lady of the Reformed. Do we benefit much from a Nameless Siren at all? I don't really think so. Divine Artifact. This is a skip. I don't think we really need that. Titan's Gratitude wants some upgrades, but I'm gonna go for the relic here. We can get these upgrades later and that's still fine. Vapor Funnel and Votive Key. Is Votive Key really good here? I think so. I think Votive Key is very good here. A more spell weakness. You know, that wouldn't be a bad essence. For... I haven't used Xylophyte's essence before. It's not something I usually care about too much. The other way around, I suppose. I think I want the tankier unit. Yeah, Xylophyte's essence into the guard is what I want here. Extreme Stone. That gives us our Titan's Gratitude upgrade that we want. Feel like Intrinsic is not gonna help us much. Consumable cards. Stygian Guard could be okay. Awoken could be okay. Even Hellhawk could be good. Ally of the Ancients would actually be the best thing. Imp in a box. We can make endless imps. No, these are cardless. They won't be endless. That is a difficult decision. Imp in a box could work well in this deck, but... these imps not being reformable and endlessable is a bit of an issue. I'm still gonna pick it up. It will sometimes be quite good. Other times it's not really gonna do much, but it will at least still trigger Flicker. I wish we could have made the thingy intrinsic, the unit, the tomb, the one that gives stealth. Because we will need that pretty soon. Our guard is endless, Tethys isn't though. Oh, they are not cardless. Yeah, right, of course they wouldn't be. Why would they be cardless? They are created in our hand. Sure, we'll take one Ember Drain this turn. Oh, we have some damage spell access here. Which is quite nice. We do get a kill on you. We need some help with these guys though. 525. Oh, couldn't we? No, we couldn't have killed her, but now we can. Hi, Carius, welcome. As you can see, it's going decently well. We just destroyed Talos in midair. Deep offering? Nothing wrong with a deep offering. Silo Fight, Wickless Tycoon and Legion of Wax. I don't really want more units is the thing. But Legion of Wax could just help us. Legion of Wax could be good. I'm gonna skip though. We definitely won't draw. Yeah, max core runs. Those are difficult. This is probably where we're gonna get our unit upgrades. So let's go to the left here. Pick up the money. Pick up the pyre health, of course. Do we want more spell weakness? I feel like branching out into cost reduction would be good. But I am gonna stay in spell weakness for now. Not because I think it's necessarily the best thing we could do, but mostly because I think it's interesting. It's gonna be quite powerful in the sense that we get really strong potential to do flying kills. How do we deal with spell shield? I don't think we can. I think that will kill us. Molten Encasement in the opening hand. I am quite happy about that. I want these incants, so I'm gonna kill you with a spell anyways. Not right now though. Give me a Molding Imp. That is not a Molding Imp. We didn't play any summon triggers. The collector is just gone. Maybe I should have set up on the second floor. I don't need the increased capacity of the bottom floor. But it does give me a bit more leeway in utilizing my spells if the units on the second floor already have spell weakness active. We won't need this in this fight. Might as well get the Transcendent killed so that we can reform it later. Just to generate a huge amount of Ember, I suppose. We have to nuke you, otherwise you won't leave us alone. I want the stealth tomb to be endless. And I want this tomb to blow up as well. Wait, can we even do that? This tomb will die to spike, so yes, we can. We don't really care if we use your spell weakness, right? That's not entirely true. We have 26 damage times 6. That's 150 something. That's not gonna be enough though. So we will need to use a big spell on you no matter what. Don't want to be Ember Drained. I'm not gonna play it. This is awkward. We can't guarantee the hit on the Crypt Builder with the Coslicker here. And I do need to play the Crypt Builder. That means we won't play the Molten Encasement. I guess I could play Frozen Lands, but then... and then please hit the Crypt Builder. Thanks. That was huge. Might have taken a ton of damage if we didn't hit it there. If we discard the Deep Offering, we can play Primitive Molten Encasement and hit the Crypt Builder with the Flicker Slicker. If we discard the Molten Encasement, we can play the Crypt Builder with the Flicker, with the Deep Offering. You know, that might actually be the worst case scenario. Because we can't kill this guy without the Reform. It's only gonna be 5 damage, but it's 5 damage we could have avoided. Your spikes are the problem, huh? Well, we just throw all the damage at you that we can find. I wish we could find a bit more damage. Yeah, not much going on. But we will get the kill on you easily. With the Crypt Builder. That's 9 spell weakness. 2100 damage. That's a solid amount. More armor? Does that matter? I'd rather have an Ice Empire. And I think we don't want these. This is just a spell deck. A spell weakness deck. Mark of an Exile, Precious Plating and Light's Gift. Light's Gift is nice, but also kind of unnecessary. There are downsides to Light's Gift as well. I'm gonna take Precious Plating. Remove one Train Steward for sure. The other one can stay, I don't mind it. We have the room for one. And I'm gonna remove one of the Primitive Molds. Permafrost. That could go on the Ice Empire, I wouldn't mind that at all. Kinda want more Ember. That is one way to get a bit more Ember. I do like these. The 26 damage actually matters with the spell weakness we can get on the enemies. I will permafrost the Ice Empire. We do have the option of another holdover. And I think it should be Offering Token. That basically solves our Ember problem by making our Crypt Builder free most of the time. This one goes on Ice and... Boy. No. This one goes on the Frozen Lands, and this one goes on... I think Ice Empire 90 damage is usually enough. So I'm gonna put it on the Titan's Gratitude instead. Am I gonna buy another Purge? Yeah. Let's get rid of the Wicklash here. Wicklash is not really gonna be important part of this deck. I don't care about stealth, we kill stuff with spells and multi-strike. Slightly annoying. That could actually kill the God of the Unnamed. So set up on the next floor. Give us some more time to find spells to kill these units with. Maybe I should have put the Endless on the guard. I guess Tethys is more important. Will we need it? I don't think so. We do want to get the Collector, so I kind of have to play the Titan's Gratitude on the top first. Just in case we discarded that one. Can we survive this? That's 12 plus 32. No. Then I might as well get the extra attack on you for a later reform. That might happen. Let's see what we have as options for our imps. Fletchlings. Interesting. Oh, we wanna hit you with a big one. Hit you with a small one. And then let Tethys die and reform her. Because there's no way we are gonna prevent that damage. That means we won't have spell weakness on these guys. That is annoying. It's annoying, but I think we'll be fine. Okay, that makes things a lot easier. Oh, that was the wrong endless target. Probably not a big deal at all. Still not ideal. Now I wish we could kill you with Ice Empire instead, but we can hold the Ice Empire for a bit. Kill you so our spells can hit the Crystal Cloak. That's 2 spell weakness already from the action triggers. So this should almost kill them. And there we go. Deal 2 damage whenever an enemy unit moves between floors. I'll take it. Jank Strips is fine here. Unnamed Tome could be helpful. Kinda want it. Resin removal could be good. Fatal Melting is some AoE. It's gonna be quite weak most of the time. We have Tethys Sweep. Hopefully that's gonna be enough most of the time, and I think this is where we upgrade our Shark, just so it doesn't die as quickly anymore. We can go with Large Stone. We do have the extra capacity. Makes imps a bit harder to use and stuff, but I think that's what we want. That's enough health. Now I kinda want the Incant trigger. Didn't get it. But we did get health again, so I'll take it. We could do something like Quick and Strength Stone on the tomb, but that doesn't really matter. It's a waste of money. And we could spend on our spells instead. Train Steward is pretty bad, but it's not like the worst thing. We can play it out and don't draw into it back. Again, although we do have the Endless, so sometimes we will draw back into it, so I'm gonna consume it, purge it. And I think we can get rid of one more primitive mold. Resin removal is nice for the Divinity waves, yes. Hi Jackson, RS Jackson, welcome. I think you once told me what the RS stands for, but I think I forgot, sorry. Let's purge the primitive mold. We can get another plus 30, you know. Just get that Ice Empire to casual 240. Make that offering token intrinsic. That seems good. Do we want to combine our tombs? Does it matter? It doesn't matter. They are exactly the same. I think the molten encasement looks nicer. Also, I only just realized this thing looks very much like a Daedalus bomb encased in that ember thingy, wax thingy. Good thing the Daedalus bombs don't explode for 50 damage. Apparently we did tune them a bit. Blinding, Dark Shard and Shattering. These are actually like all the Dark Shards are pretty bad for us, kinda. Endless definitely goes on the tomb. Oh, you have 20 attack now. You can actually kill Absolvers. That is neat. Don't need that right now, although we might want to consume it early. Do you have spell shields? No, you have stealth. Stealth is totally okay. Sure, let's daze some imps. I don't care. I should have played that for incants instead, but as long as we keep these entombed explosives coming, that's not gonna matter very much at all. This is not the deep offering turn. Deep offering might need a cost reduction before we can really make use of it. Hey Juke! Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. 6 months now. Half a year already. Very much appreciated. Thank you so much. We still haven't found the Crypt Builder. Actually, all the big damage spells are still in our deck. So I was thinking it was pretty likely that we would draw one here, but nope. Don't have anything to reform. This is probably the wave we want to silence, because we don't have a way to deal with that Absolver. You don't need your stealth anymore, right? And just trigger the incants. Well, that's the wrong floor for you to be on. We can kill you here. Total overkill. Might as well apply some spell weakness here. You don't die right now. Maybe we can change that. We can. That is not quite enough, so let's kill you and then get rid of you as well. Ah, wrong floor for you to be on again. But you know what? We can do a lot of damage to Daedalus this turn. It's definitely possible. It's not quite as much as it could have been, but you know, it's a decent amount. Now we're a little behind with these guys though. Luckily this one dies to Frozen Lands. Kill you. Without spell weakness we sadly can't. Oh, I should have played the tomb first. Without spell weakness we sadly can't kill Arcos there. Well, depending on what we draw, we might be able to get a kill here. Not like this though. We would have needed to draw into the... No wait, we don't have spell weakness yet. So... Do I daze my flaw? I'll miss out on some spell weakness? Actually no. Doesn't matter. Because we have the kill here anyways, right? Not quite actually, huh? Well, that's 29 spell weakness on you, you know what that means. 6,300 damage. Gifts for a guard. I don't think that's the deck for it. We want to keep our spells alive. And we don't need that many spells. And I don't think Spike of the Stygian is the card we want either. More draw. Choose a relic out of 6. We can afford to reroll. Or choose a relic out of 2. But keep our gold. I think choosing a relic out of 2 but keeping our gold to spend on this floor is the better choice here. Lost luggage. We already draw 7 at the start of our battle. I'm gonna go with Icicle Fracture. It's not the most impactful thing here, but it might matter. Ah, do we want these? Certainly not Penitent Remains. We don't really care about the attack of our units. I don't think I want 120 damage nukes that don't benefit from spell weakness. If they did, I would gladly take them. And I don't think I need the Weather or Cold Stones. But they are also not terrible, I would say. But I think I'm gonna skip. That is so unnecessary. Yeah, it's just unnecessary. I don't think we want anything here. Burnout would be the potentially best thing, but also not really necessary either. That is always nice. Deep Offering is so much better at 0 cost. And move on. We might actually have trouble dealing with the Divinity. I'm not entirely sure how we go about that fight. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how to deal with Divinity. Now the enemies are starting to survive our Titan's Gratitudes. You have 90 health, that should be enough here. Yeah, let's play you first before we play any spells. Welder Helpers, huh? While I would like the armor on you, I kinda need the space later on. And we don't have a way to get rid of these Welder Helpers. So what we can do is block some damage by putting them in the front line. That is not terrible. The other one though, I'm gonna... actually no. I will play it. I kinda wanna keep the Ice Empire if possible. So I'm gonna try. Well, that didn't work out. We need one of our big damage spells pretty soon. Okay, that's a great draw. probably how I have to kill this one anyways. And then I think we redraw. Yeah. I guess I could play the Argent Spines here. Oh no. Well, this is good at least. Quite good in fact. Might as well purge the rage. This is starting to get dangerous. We do get a kill on the Steel Wings, that's nice, so we can actually hit the backliners with our spells. Okay. That is something we can deal with. Crypt Builder you. Frozen Lands. Play the Entombed Explosive again. Was hoping to not discard the Frozen Lands there, but it should be fine. Flush a Rage again, just in case. It shouldn't matter at all, but it's gonna be a Crypt Builder. I'm gonna throw a Frozen Lance at you. Actually, no, we use an Ice Empire. Frozen Lance at you. So we do actually have some things we can throw at the bottom floor. Let's silence the triggers there. Although I didn't pay attention to which boss we're fighting. I think it's Nephil. But if not, well then we would have been better off using the book against the boss. Although, like, it doesn't matter really. Crypt Builder first. Titan's Gratitude. And keep the Ice Empire in hand. Oh, the Imps actually took that one out. Nice. Yeah, we are up against Nephil. Let's get rid of the Rage first. I kinda wanna hit you with the Crypt Builder last. And we can take out both of you, play another card. And that should be enough spell weakness to one-shot Nephil. It was enough. That was definitely a good amount of spell weakness. No. Also no. Not really what we need. But we don't really need anything in particular, I don't think. Some relics would be nice. Sigil Seaweed I definitely don't mind. Hellspanner's Improved Firebox. These are not necessary. I'm gonna reroll. Forgotten Name is very much appreciated. Does Traitor's Quill matter to us? It makes these Frozen Lands a lot better. It might be something we pick up. Is there another holdover we wanna do? I don't think so. I am happy to equip more of my Frozen Lands with Consume. Frozen Lances. I'm still a bit unsure how we deal with Divinity. Because Divinity doesn't change floors, so we will have a hard time making use of the spell weakness we apply to the Divinity. Because we'll always have units in front of him, even in Relentless. So we will never really get a chance to hit a spell. And that worries me a lot. I wonder how we can overcome this problem. If we use an AoE spell, not that we have one here, then we would also trigger the spell weakness, so that doesn't help either. So how do we actually beat Divinity? I do have a faint idea of how it would be possible, and that's setting up on the top floor, and then eventually when the spell weakness is stacked high enough that we can get a kill, we start using our spells to clear up waves that are trying to come up to the top floor, and then after that we try to find an opening where we can actually hit a spell through. And I think that can work. I think that should work. It's also useful to set up on the top floor so our Ice Empire actually has a target. Crypt Builder is gonna be hard to play. Titan's Gratitude can discard one another. Ice Empire can only be played on the top floor. They all have a significant disadvantage. But I think Crypt Builder we can probably weave in. So that's gonna be my dupe. Resin removal 0 cost might make some sense. That really doesn't matter all that much. Consume removal on deep offering can be a huge help. It now costs 1 again, but that's fine. I think we are gonna buy a removal on the primitive mold. These really don't matter anymore. I'm actually gonna take the money and buy another removal. Keep only 1 primitive mold. And then we buy the final upgrades because we can. Now Frozen Lands can actually take out a few units. The resin removal can also help us deal with spell shields. That might matter. The setup on Seraph mostly depends on where Seraph spawns. I think I want to be on the bottom floor again. Let's play the guard first. Don't want to incant Seraph just to hit him for like 200. That's not worth. I do think the incant is worth for the spell weakness though. We do have to play the Molten Encasement. But also the Molten Encasement just makes it so that we don't really care about Seraph anymore. Let's see what's in here. Rage. These imps are somewhat useless right now. That was a bad idea. Now we take the trample damage. 6 spell weakness, that's not enough to get the kill. No need really to trigger it with the Titan's Gratitude. We don't have to play that card. These guys are a bit too tanky to die to that. Where did you get rage from? You probably started with some rage. I have to assume. Ah, that wasn't a card I wanted to discard. But I'm probably gonna play the Deep Offering here anyways. I don't want to actually kill that Gilded Wing. So maybe the Deep Offering was just a mistake. We can freeze that. Now that's an amount of damage that might be worth taking. We hold that. We make sure that this Gilded Wing dies. Play this first. Follow it up with that. You know what? We silence Seraph just because, yeah. That's what we should have done a long time ago. And then we freeze that Crypt Builder. Just so we have an easy way. An easy way to kill Seraph? Well, a little bit off. Ice Empire would do it. Oh, we just play 3 spells first, right? That will do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. That didn't do it. Why did I think that would do it? I needed to play both Crypt Builders on that floor if I wanted to do it that way. Let's play this and then Deep Offering. Okay, that will definitely do it. Oops. Play this and then win. Flying boss kill again. Okay, now the one fight that actually might prove a significant challenge. Prove to be a significant challenge. It's not the setup I wanted. We do have one reform left in the deck, the one primitive mold. I kept that there for a reason. The problem is Tethys doesn't survive a Last Divinity hit on the top floor, so we need some way to give Tethys stealth. That is actually an issue. What is my plan for this? Seems like I don't have a plan. So are we on the second floor? I don't think we can be on the second floor. Uh-oh. I forgot that Tethys doesn't survive a hit. And we won't get enough spell weakness with just the God of the Unnamed. That's not gonna happen. And the efforts we would need to put into triggering spell weakness on the bottom floor are immense. Like, real crazy. It's not gonna happen. So, what do we do? Can we Daze Seraph? We can't. We can't Sept Seraph either. Maybe I forgot a crucial tool here. I thought stealth would be enough, but we can't trigger the stealth. we basically have to... Isn't the bottom floor clear when Divinity goes relentless? Right! Yes! I forgot about that. I thought there would be another wave spawning, but no, you're right. The wave moved, the last wave is on the middle floor when relentless starts. Yeah, she doesn't have a lot of HP. That's definitely sometimes a problem. Like in the Divinity fight, for example. This was my out. And it wouldn't have been an out. I want to freeze the resin removal. This guy's gonna get nuked. We don't need such high damage. Let's get rid of the spell weakness here. Spell shields. And start cleaning up this floor. This card is probably not needed. Start with the frozen lands. Do I want to play the molten encasement first? $220 damage. Yes, I do. Oh, that guy was silenced. That makes sense. We need to push you to the back, then kill you. And then we would need to kill you to keep Tethys alive. So that we would blow up the conduit redirector. Well, I guess we have to freeze the primitive mold to bring Tethys back. I kinda need Tethys right now. But without the Whiplash, she's not gonna survive long. So maybe we have to find another way. Oh, that is bad. That is really, really bad. Why did I do that? There's the Whiplash too. Oh no. That might be a big problem. You survived that? That's a lot of armor you got there. Kinda wish we had a totem fragment right about now. That takes care of that guy. Now goes the Whiplash again. And there's the Reform back. Of course. Oh! The imps. The imps were in there as well. I forgot about these imps. Five spell shields. Ah, you're a pain. Well, but I guess that's what we have resin removal for, right? Might be more important on you than on this entire wave. Oh, we kinda need to kill both, so... No! Ah. Now we get Tethys. Well, it's still better than not having her. That's our biggest hit. Alright, Tethys is now endless. I guess that works? It doesn't actually. Because of the need for stealth. That's the last wave we have to kill though. So we just need to nuke Divinity now. That's actually quite simple. Divinity has spell shields. Why did Divinity have spell shields? That fight was a mess. I forgot to cleanse Divinity's spell shields. I made quite a few mistakes there. I make Tethys endless. Bring the tomb back with the reform. Don't play the imps. That's what we do. The tomb dying every turn, not a problem. Tethys dying every turn, yeah, that would be a problem. It's the summon trigger of the Shard enhanced incant enemies. Yeah, that imp in a box was not really useful at all. Is there anything that I would be really sad to discard? Yes, the offering token. And we want to freeze the crit builder. Time around, for some reason, we do have enough stuff to kill this conduit redirector. Which is great. Because that means Tethys never dies. That also means now that Tethys doesn't die, we can more easily kill these guys. This thing costing 0 is also a great boon. Now we could play the imps. That's actually useful this turn. This one not so much, but... I don't want to discard resin removal, everything else is okay, so we play first. To minimize the chances of losing the important card. We'll need the resin removal to deal with the spell shields. Good enough. That is actually significant with the spell weakness. Good enough to kill one of these guys. And that is pretty good. Okay, this is going so much smoother. That's how I expected this fight to go. This way, if we don't have to kill anymore. But let's try to find resin removal quickly so we can potentially kill him. Well, just leaving this one guy alive isn't a huge problem. This is such a weird wave. Very mixed frontliners all around. We definitely do need to keep these. Divinity does have one spell shield, so we will need both crit builders. Although we do have the resin removal. So this is gonna be some extra damage. If we could play them both. There we go. That's how we do it. That first try was a bit of a mess. I messed up and that became a problem in the long run. But yeah, the imp in a box wasn't really that useful. We mastered God of the Unnamed. Nice. A just very defensive spell weakness deck. Yes, Definitely one of my favorites, just because big numbers, flying boss kills. What's not to like? And this one was pretty much that in its purest form. So yeah, spell weakness Tethys still got it, is still a powerful choice. There are some problems with it, but yeah, you can actually beat Divinity just set up on the bottom floor, no problem. Somehow you need to survive the incoming damage, but that's always a thing. With this Tethys, you have to survive all the damage, because you're not gonna kill most enemies before they attack you. But sometimes you can, because you will include some big spells in your deck no matter what. And I mean, a God of the Unnamed can do that decently well, but you probably want some more defensive essence if you have to rely on the God of the Unnamed alone. Maybe another God of the Unnamed. And then the Reform / Endless Mold Encasement. That really makes sure that you will keep your floor alive. Okay, that was a fun one. Like a really nice spell heavy deck.